Good evening, VV Nation. My name is Ryan and welcome to the channel. It's always a pleasure doing these 6 p.m. videos to give you informative information so that way you can make money in the stock market. And I hope you enjoyed last night's video, just giving you some fair warning of what's really going on in the market. You know, we've got a mixed batch of inflation data that came out this week. CPI a little hotter than expected, while the producer price index came in below estimates. Now, that being said, what is next for the market? That's a great question, and I'm here with a simple answer. Earnings. This Friday starts the new batch, the new season of earnings coming out, reporting from companies from the first quarter of this year. Now, that being said, the first batter up is going to be bank stocks. Now, there's been a lot of turmoil in this industry, especially amongst regional banks, as higher interest rate yields put pressures on those banks. Now, that being said, we're going to dive into the VectorVest 7 system, take a look at this industry as a whole, take a look at these stocks getting ready to report, and let me know if you own any of these big financial institutions. I know the space has been taking a dip for the last several months. I know a lot of investors have been taking advantage of this, buying some of these stocks at a discount. Now, the main question is this industry's downtrend finally over? So we're going to help answer some of these questions in tonight's video. So if this is something that you're interested in, stick around and let's get started. Now, tomorrow is the beginning of the big banks earnings report. So that's why I said this video is coming out in such a timely manner. Now, that being said here, first up come tomorrow pre-market, we've got jpmorgan Chase, Wells Fargo, BlackRock Financial Institution, and Citigroup. Now, come first thing next week on Monday, reporting before the bell, we have Goldman Sachs, Charles Schwab Corporation, and M&T Bank. And to finally finish up most of the big banks on Tuesday, we have Bank of America Corporation, Morgan Stanley, and the Bank of New York Mellon Corporation. Now, up here, I have the list of the 10 bank stocks getting ready to report over the next few trading sessions here. jpmorgan at the top of the list here. Actually, if we take a look at the list here, look, big down day again for the banks here. All of these stocks are currently trading in negative territory as of today. If we compare price to value, do we get a sense if the stock is currently over or undervalued right now? jpmorgan currently undervalued, trading at $194, while we value it at $249. Bank of New York, $54. We value it at $74. Wells Fargo, $56. We value it at $68. Bank of America is the first one to be overvalued here at $36. We only value it at $70. BlackRock coming in at $780. We value it at $750, so right on par there. Charles Schwab, $70. We value it at $40, so greatly overvalued. Citigroup coming in at $59, while we value it at $61. So again, on par with our valuation metrics. Goldman Sachs currently trading at $396, while we value it at $342, so slightly overvalued there. Morgan Stanley coming at $90, 66 cents. We only value it at $66, so greatly overvalued. Now, the last stock on the list here is MTB or MT Bank, coming in just shy of $135. We value at $140, so pretty close to our valuation metrics. Looking at RV and RS, these are our fundamental indicators here. Collectively, they are mixed here. The highest rating in the list, currently the RV rating at 1.44, jpmorgan. It also has the highest RS rating at 1.35. And the important thing about RS going into earnings, this looks at the consistency and the predictability of the companies. So if you don't want to get thrown a curveball at earnings season, making sure you have stocks with high RS is a great way to try to prevent that. Now, that being said, this stock does have the buy rating, growth rate at 15%, sales growth at 33%. No surprise, jpmorgan at the top of the list here. Bank of New York comes in at second place, with the VST collectively at 1.16. It does have the hold rating right now, but this position does have the highest sales growth rate in the list. Currently does have a buy rating right now, but this position has the worst sales growth rate in the list at negative 25%. So just take note of that. Bank of America does have the buy rating here. RS is above 1, positive growth rate and positive sales growth rate. So this is a great position here, especially this one and the jpmorgan. Now, as we take a look at BlackRock here, fundamentally sound, RV and RS above 1. Their trend just is not in our favor right now. This position is moving lower with the RT below 1 coming in at 0.92. Now, Charles Schwab greatly overvalued, currently trading just above $70. We value it at just over $40. RV relative value here coming in well below 1 at 0.69, showing that long-term price appreciation potential just isn't there. Now, that being said, as far as forecasted data, negative growth rate in earnings, and look at the sales growth rate, currently flat at 0. Now, as far as Citigroup, RV and RS, fundamentally just not there. Very weak fundamentals here at 0.9. So both of these are below 1 right now. The stock is currently an uptrend, so technically in our favor. Now, stock does have a buy rating, And the forecasted data is mixed right now. The growth rate in earnings at -5, while the sales growth rate comes in at 32%. Now, as far as Goldman Sachs ratings here, we've got 1.0, 1.09, and 1.0 respectively. So the ratings are pretty neutral on here. We do have the hold rating, but look at the sales growth rate, one of the highest on the list, coming in at 24%. Now, Morgan Stanley showing us weak fundamentals here with the RV and RS below 1. However, technicals are in our favor at 1.06. Now, growth rate and sales growth both positive here, and with the sales growth rate coming in at 27% puts it at one of the highest in the list. Now, M&T Bank at the bottom of the list here because it has the lowest VST in the list at 0.94. We can see fundamentally here pretty mixed. And look at the technical indicator, RT relative timing. This does let us know that the stock is currently in a downtrend with some magnitude behind the trend. Now, that being said, this does have a hold rating right now with the growth rate and sales growth rate coming in both positive, 6% and 22% respectively. Now, as we take a look at the bank industry down below with the average here, we can see the current price right now is at $23, valuations at 26. So the space is pretty undervalued in general. Now, when it comes to fundamentals, RV and RS mixed here. RV slightly positive at 1.02. However, the consistency and the predictability of the company's financials just not there. The safety rating comes in at 0.72. So if you're in the banking space, just know that you're taking on a little bit more risk than generally speaking in the market right now. Now, when it comes to forecasted data, the industry average for the growth rate and earnings right now is flat at 0%, while the sales growth rate comes in at 21%. All right, so this evening I wanted to show you the banking sector graph. So these are all of the banking stocks in the VectorVest database collectively shown. Here we can see price action. I have a 3 and 8 day exponential moving average. I have a 20-day exponential moving average, support resistance lines, and then down below I have a RT relative timing and our growth rate and earnings. To begin, let's just take a look at price action here. We can see a tight trading range here through this channel with a resistance level at 46.92. while the support at the bottom of that channel came in around 45.10. We see price action breaking to the bottom side of that channel once again here, sitting right at the bottom of that zone itself. Now we do see all of our moving averages moving in a bearish pattern here, with the 3 below the 8-day and both of these below the 20-day currently being. Now that being said, RT relative timing gave us some preliminary warning to the weakness of this industry when it crossed below 1 back on the 6th of February 2024, showing that the upward trend in this sector is changing directions. Now that being said, price action has been on the decline since then, and if we look at the growth rate and earnings here, earnings season is coming up. It's the whole point behind this video here, and my biggest concern right now is that 6 months ago the growth rate and earnings was at 7%, while today it comes in at only 3%. All right, VV Nation, I showed you in the VectorVest 7 software, all of these stocks are down today. Fundamentally, they're mixed. They're all over the board with the RV and RS ratings. Generally speaking, they are mostly around 1. Therefore, they don't have the greatest ratings in the database. Also, look at the growth rate and earnings and the sales growth rate. Some were negative, some were neutral, some were positive. This space is just all over the place. Now, that being said, when we went to the graph, we did look at the growth rate in the banking sector itself over the last 6 months, which we saw a decline. So that being said, I just want to give you fair warning going into earnings season with these banks if you're holding these positions. Now, if you found this video informative and you see the potential to make money with the information I gave you here, please hit that subscribe button so that way we can keep you updated going forward. Have a good night.
Hey, VV Nation, do you have access to the VectorVest tool, the most powerful tool in the industry right now? No? Well, I'm going to give you an opportunity to take advantage of an outstanding deal. Simply go to www.vectorvest.com/YT. You can take advantage of VectorVest 30 days for $9.95. That's an outrageous price for a trial. So what do you get? Well, you get the opportunity to see how we have outperformed the S&P 500 by over 2,000% for the last 20 years. We'll go down and we can see that we track over 18,000 stocks globally and have access to analyzing those. And we've got 25 years of accurate market predictions. Yes, folks, we time the market. Simply, folks, all you have to do is go to www.vectorvest.com/YT. $9.95 for 30 days. And we offer a hassle-free refund. Folks, take advantage of it right now.